Alright, folks, welcome back to the Boys Green YouTube channel. It's time for a post-match reaction to Motherwell nil, Celtic 3 today at Fir Park. I'm joined by Alistair. How you doing, Alistair?
Good, thanks, mate.
Good. We may as well just start after the team. Obviously, we've seen four changes from Wednesday night's game. I kind of expected a few changes, obviously, because Wednesday was a bit of a tiring exercise. Obviously, we've seen McCowan brought into the midfield, which a lot of people were in favour of. Bernardo also coming in for Engels, and James Forrest coming in for Nicholas Kuhn, and Kyogo coming in for Adam Ida. Alistair, first and foremost, what did you make of the team?
I was kind of shocked that the captain wasn't there because we didn't know what was wrong with him. So
Aye.
on on the way, I knew McGowan would start. I mean, to me that was a no-brainer. But
Mhm.
and we'll get into him later. Um, uh, I just I just was slightly shocked at maybe two of the changes, but I was kind of shocked about Forest, and I was kind of shocked about McGregor no playing, but it worked well in the end.
Well, Brendan Rodgers before the game basically said it was something to do with his Achilles or something, but realistic, I think it's just give Callum McGregor a rest. He did mention how much games he's involved in. The opening 10-15 minutes, I'd go as far as saying I think Motherwell were the better side. Celtic kind of started a bit slowly, to be honest. Struggled to get into the game. You're thinking, is it going to be one of these? Considering our record recently at Far Park, you're thinking, is it going to be another one of those kind of games where we need to be kicked up the backside? To be honest, Lennon Moore, I think he started really well. A player that I think Celtic should be all over in the summer. Um,
And maybe
and
even in
I
January, mate.
I think he was dictating. I think when Motherwell had a fair few chances, hit the crossbar and the post as well. So, but Celtic eventually did kind of settle down. We get a few chances, and at times the final pass was just a problem. I think that first half, but we did get the goal through Luke McCowan, just a bit on the edge of the box. He probably gets a bit of fortune, and then just puts a really good finish in at the corner, and we're up 1-0. Alistair, obviously, Luke McCowan, since he's came from Dundee, he's been a very popular figure between the support, and it was obviously good to see him get his first start and obviously getting a goal with it as well.
And I must say, Josh, I knew he was a decent player, but I think we've got a wee bargain there. I think we've
And
got a wee
I, I,
bargain.
I think a lot of people when we signed them were talking, including myself and probably you and this as well, were all about how he was a big kind of Celtic man and wanting kind of us really, but I think his technical ability is he's got a really good technical ability. He's always, and the one thing I really like about him is he's always forward thinking. He's not with these midfielders. For me, and I read this on Twitter as well, and I think it's a good point. I think Luke McCowan was what David Turnbull was meant to be. My issue with somebody like David Turnbull was I could maybe put a long shot in once every few games, but I felt he was too sidewards and always try to go backwards with his passing. But with McCowan, I think he's always forward thinking on the ball. He's always trying to look for the maybe the risky pass, not always playing it safe. But I think he's been fantastic since obviously joining. And he's not for me, he's not put a bad performance in all season when he's coming off the bench and obviously getting a start today as well.
Yeah, and also what I would say is you can tell McGowan started as a winger because he's got that ability to beat a man. You mentioned David Turnbull. David Turnbull could beat a man with a pass, but he couldn't beat a man with individual skill because he didn't have that in his locker.
Mhm.
But I'm not having a pop at David Turnbull by the way, but but what I would say is I think I think to be honest, um get the Clarkson ready. I think Luke McGowan kind of reminds me, big statement coming up here, a wee bit about John McGinn could have been for Celtic.
I think it's early in his Celtic career, but I think what we've saw with his performances when he's been in there has been nothing but a positive. Um, Obviously, and then we kind of got control after that. I think Motherwell that early kind of momentum was kind of just sucked out them at that point. I think when we got that goal, it was kind of sucker punch to them. Just before half time, there was an incident. Obviously, I think um, Maida, the most weirdest Maida finish. I don't even know. I think he gets kind of barged into by O'Donnell, and then there's a bit of confusion, especially I don't know. You were at the ground. I was watching it on TV, but well, even on TV, and wouldn't imagine the confusion at the ground.
Well,
It
let me
was
tell you, it was horrendous. No, because the linesman actually ran to the corner, and that kind of indicates he's given a penalty. But the referee was told to delay the game,
aye.
and but I'll say this to you, thankfully didn't mean anything. But I'll say this to you, if he's not passed into the back, he doesn't handle the ball.
Aye, no, that's what I thought when I was watching it. I thought this is either going to be a goal, and when I realised that handballs, it's no goal. But
It's got to be a penalty.
they gave the penalty the other way. I think apparently they checked for the penalty, and they said no penalty. I'm not going to get into. I'm not. It's not a conspiracy podcast, but
Well, there's another
um,
thing we'll get to.
I get and then, but if you look at the decision on Austin Trusty at St Johnston,
Yeah.
it's so what is I don't get what the difference is there, but anyway, but we get at half
And,
time
e-
up.
and even and even Duke at home to Aberdeen.
Aye, um, I don't. Duke wasn't really that was a hand. It wasn't a handball to begin with, but um, we get into the second half, and you kind of just we're 1-0 up. You're kind of looking for that second goal because, as you know, Motherwell could if they get to 70, 80 minutes, you can kind of there could be a
I
chance
know
they
that
could
the hard way.
get a
I
chance.
know that the hard way.
But I thought we came out and you're just looking maybe because I thought at times we were a wee bit passive in the first half just with the tempo and getting the ball forward. I thought sometimes could have maybe been a bit more adventurous with the passing, but I think in the second half we were a lot more adventurous. We were passing obviously 56 minutes in, we get a second goal and it's Alistair Johnson who's making a bit of a habit of
Yeah, well,
scoring now.
who would have thought we'd have the best scoring right back
Aye.
in,
Um,
in Scotland this year, Josh? Who would have thought that,
but it's good play
Kind
from
of.
Valley. It's a good cross, and then um,
I would sign
Jo-
him, by the way.
Johnston taps in.
Often one.
Me personally, with Valley, I still think it's a bit too early. I think once you maybe get to he's played 20, maybe 20, 10, 20 games for Celtic, you go like, right, okay, where we at? I think he's another one. You know,
You
maybe
can
apart from that,
put that, Josh. You can
I know
put
you can
that.
put that one. I think for Valley, I think he's played. He's another one who's played pretty decent. I think apart from that Falkirk game, I think he's been okay. I think he's shown in European games as well what his levels like. So he could be one that we could look at bringing in. I think if he continues the way he is, I think it would be no brainer to try and bring
Can
him
I,
in. If
can
yeah,
I clarify what I mean by that, Josh? I've seen enough potential, and
aye,
the
there's
the
potential
fee
there.
it would the fee it would be is 2.5,
Aye,
maybe
and
3.
it
That's an
depends.
okay
Obviously, aye,
for the
it depends.
age.
I don't unless I would assume it'd be surplus to unless Hansi Flick wants to keep
Well,
it Barcelona,
if
but.
you if you seen him last night, he's not
I,
getting in that team. By the way, bro.
No, so it could be. I think if he continues, and as you say, with the potential, could be an option to try and bring him in. but I think at that point we had full control. Motherwell kind of started throwing caution to the wind, which I expected. I thought in the second half it was training exercise. We had chances. I think Kyogo in the second half, his play was really good. I think he was unlucky not
Yeah,
to get a goal. I
I
thought
was
he's
hoping we would get a goal.
aye. I think his link up play was really good, which he's really improved on this season. I think he was bringing people into play. He was tracking back, doing stuff like that. Maida looked back to his usual. Obviously, last week there was questions
Buzzing
about Maida.
about, yeah.
I looked buzzing about. He was pressing, and so I did say it. We did say at the weekend it was just a fatigue. I thought with Maida, so he looked back to his best. But it was just kind of about trying to make sure we get the third goal. Maybe just try and seal it off. And we got it from Adam Ida who come off the bench. Good cross
I
from
was delighted for him.
good cross from Kuhn, and Ida good finish as well. I said at the time
Good
when he
assist,
scored it.
by the way,
Uh,
must be.
I know, isn't
Right.
it? Must be through the roof. But I said at the time with Adam Ida, I thought, you know what, that could be a big goal for him because that's the sharp Adam Ida we've seen for last season. I think this season wouldn't be a stretch to go at that. Maybe he's been a bit no really up to speed when it comes to match sharpness, but I think that is a finish you'd expect from last year. Hopefully that's him can kick
Very
on. I know
similar to the
he's got
second
5 goals. He's
goal
got
last
five.
year.
He's got 5 goals. So it's I'm not sitting here saying he's only got 1 goal. He's got 5 goals, but I really do want to see Ida getting kicking off because I thought during the week he was good as well for what he had to do. Maybe not for an attacking striker, but I thought
He's a good
defensively
team
that's
player the other night,
aye.
yeah.
But I think 3-0 was pretty comprehensive, Alistair, and it sets us up for Wednesday night. And it ends a good week for Celtic as well, obviously, because come off that European result, you think is it going to be tricky, but it was pretty simple in the end.
Yeah, I mean, the second half was a training session, really. I mean, I'm not being disrespectful when I say that because I don't really think they had a clear-cut chance in the second half. A couple of scrambles, but nothing major.
Aye.
And I thought it was very interesting, Josh. He took Valley off, but he put Skills over at left back. Maybe that was
I
just
realised that at the time. I think Taylor's maybe still not up to match sharpness, obviously. I think he only trained after the Atalanta game anyway, so I don't think there's anything too much to look into that. I think Scales can play left back, and maybe he was just trying to experiment as well, see if he can maybe
maybe he
get
was
Carter
trying to see if Trusty and Carter Vickers could play together.
Aye. And
I
also
think,
on Carter Vickers, it's just brilliant to see him back in the team.
yeah,
I think even
absolutely.
when we're 2-0 up as well, when every time the ball would got, you're like, no, we'll get Carter Vickers there. And there was a point where he was really aggressive towards one of the Motherwell players, like, no, like towards the ball, and he just basically no shoved him to the ground, but out muscled him, and then we just continued, and
That's the
that's what you
Vickers
missed.
we know.
That's what you missed with Cameron Carter Vickers. So it's brilliant to see him back, and hopefully he's well rested.
Please don't do this to me, Celtic, but I'd like to see Carter Vickers against Aberdeen because I'm gonna say something. I don't think we would lose a 2-goal lead if Vickers was there.
Aye.
I really
But
don't.
I think I mean we need to speak on one of the other main talking points towards the end of the game. The game's pretty much finished really. And Adamida's on the ball. He's got probably full control of the ball. And it's an absolute shocker there challenge for the Motherwell player. I can't remember the guy's name, but
Liam Gordon.
Liam Gordon is an absolute shocker. And I said at the time in the TV, I said that is a red card. Adam Ida for me, and maybe I'm being over dramatic here, is lucky not to have a broken leg after that because that is it's a ridiculous challenge. You see it on, even we talk about a lot when this is what happens, you slow stuff down, it looks worse. Even when that was at full speed, you could see
Didn't
it look
have
off.
to make it either.
It's
Game
and
said,
the game's
and
off, and the game's done, and that's just a pure aggression challenge. I'm sorry, but nobody's telling me otherwise. what does he gain out of that challenge that isn't just try to injure Adam either?
And I'm sorry, but Stuart Kettlewell, just seen his interview. That is
Nice.
a disgraceful thing to
Um,
say
he's
after the
well,
game.
he's well off with it. I don't really know where he gets the idea that it's a harsh decision. It's a red card, and that's it. And he was talking a lot about the three matches. Well, boo hoo. That's what happens. I'm sorry, but you cannot. Why would you? Well, yeah, I'd be criticising Liam Gordon because the game's done at 3
Yep,
0 and your players going in for challenges
yep.
like that that
And you'll
can.
probably miss Murrow's biggest game in years now, the semi
Aye,
final.
exactly. So I think Stuart Kettlewell is it's a car crash in interview. If I'm being honest with you, I've not seen very many agreeing with him. I don't think Motherwell fans would
But,
agree. It's a
well, see,
stonewall red
see if
card.
that was, see if that was uh, Luke McGowan on Lennon Muller. I bet you, I bet you Brendan Rodgers was Kane our player. And
I
we
know.
would
Aye.
for stupidity more than anything
Aye.
else.
But you also can't tackle a talk about
Of
fellow
course,
professionals. Like you can't tackle like that. I'm sorry. It's if he gets, but he's went in from the back. He doesn't control the ball, and he's getting nowhere near the ball. There is no chance of him winning that ball, and rightly so. And I'll give the referee credit. Came to the right decision, used VAR properly.
yeah. I mean, see, to be honest, I mean, I mean, one thing that did surprise me about VR, they kept looking and looking at it, and I thought, you would only need to look at that once.
Aye, exactly. I think
A
aye.
thick on red card. I mean, I'm really surprised the red card never come out right away because
I know.
the referee was right behind it.
Aye. But it's a red card, and I don't know what Stuart Kettlewell's got to moan about because it's just as blatant as you'd see. Um, Alistair, obviously we look ahead. We'll go ahead now to Wednesday night against Dundee at Celtic Park. A lot of the attention will be obviously on Aberdeen Rangers as well.
But
It's
we
just,
need to do the job.
we do the business. It's just important that we went in top of the table. Obviously Aberdeen done superb against Dundee United to keep up their record, so they're continuing good, and Rangers won the day against St Mirren. So it's gonna Celtic need to do their job first and foremost, but obviously something's going to give either
Well,
Aberdeen or Rangers are going to drop
you
point.
remember about a week ago, people were saying it was a perfect result for Rangers, regardless of what the Aberdeen Rangers score is. As long as we beat Dundee, we're going to gain out it.
Aye,
Either we're
that's
going to be well clear the Rangers, or both are going to drop points, and Aberdeen are going to be still in second.
aye. I think it's the main focus is always on what we do, and I think that's been why we're in such a good position. Um, this season, obviously, there's another tricky away venue that we struggled at last season. We
Yeah,
talk about the
yeah.
comparisons between this season and last season. There's Fir Park, where we really did struggle last season. Rogers did really struggle at Fir Park, it seems. Um,
They're always tight games. I
aye,
mean, I'll give you an example. That is Celtic's biggest victory in the league. I know we won 4-0 in the League Cup there, but that is Celtic's biggest victory at Fir Park since, remember, just before COVID, Edward scored the free kick.
right, aye,
So that's
aye.
Celtic's biggest
No,
victory since then. So,
it's another difficult away venue, and we've dealt with it pretty comfortably. Just to obviously end off, Alistair, what about man of the match?
that's hard. I'm actually going to give it to, I'll give it to McGowan.
I'll get to McGowan as well. I just thought the goal
McGowan
he
has
got.
done.
McGowan for me because I think the goal that he got and just his overall play, I don't think he put a foot wrong all day anyway. He just looked comfortable. He was always positive and going forward. Um, in his play and obviously getting the goal as well. But that's got a bit for post-match reaction to Motherwell now. Celtic 3, Celtic pick up another 3 points on the road. We're back throughout the week for build-up to Dundee on Wednesday night. Until then, speak to you later and hail hail.
Hill.